Dear students, today we'll discuss on diseases of grapes and its management. The grape is the most important crop grown in the world. It is mostly grown for making wines and preparation of resin and then as a table fresh fruit. Area under grapes in India is distributed mainly in Maharashtra, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu. All cultivars of grapes grown in India are susceptible to diseases and pests. They are not only reducing yield but also affect the appearance, shelf life and marketability of harvested fruit. Now let's discuss one after another about the important diseases. First one is the powdery mildew. It is caused by Unsinola nicator. Now let's see the symptoms of the disease. The disease attacks the vines at any stage of their growth. All the aerial parts of the plants are attacked. Powdery growth mostly on the upper surface of the leaves. The initial symptom of infection of leaves are observed by the presence of dark colored patches with white powdery growth, leading with the advancement of infection to curling and drying up of leaves. Discoloration of stem to dark brown. Floral infection results in shedding of flowers and poor fruit set. Early berry infection results in shedding of affected berries. Powdery growth is visible on older berries and the infection results in the cracking of skin of the berries. Often infected berries develop a net-like pattern of scar tissues. Next is the mode of spread and survival. The disease is spread through dormant mycelium and conidia present in the infected shoots and buds and through airborne conidia. Next is the favorable conditions. Temperature of 27 to 30 degrees centigrade with relative humidity up to 91% favor disease incidence. Now, management of the disease. Clean cultivation of vines or removal and destruction of all diseased parts. Dusting of vines with 300 mesh sulfur at first when new shoots are 2 weeks old. Then second prior to blossoming and third when the fruit are half ripe. Prophylactic spray with Bordeaux mixture 1% or lime sulfur at dormant stage delays development of disease by decreasing initial inoculum. Spray wettable sulfur at the rate 0.3% or Carathane or Calexin at the rate 0.1%. Grow resistant varieties like Cholt Red, Cholt White, Skiba Red, Skiba White, etc. Next important disease is the downy mildew. It is caused by Plasmopara viticola. Now coming to the symptoms of the disease. Symptoms appear on all aerial and tender parts of the vine. Irregular, yellowish, translucent spots appear on the upper surface of the leaves. Correspondingly, on the lower surface, dirty white powdery growth of fungus appears. White growth of fungus on berries which subsequently becomes leathery and shrivels. Infected berries turn hard, bluish green and then brown. Later infection of berries results in soft rot symptoms. Now coming to the favorable condition of the disease. Optimum temperature is 20 to 22 degrees centigrade. Relative humidity is 80 to 100%. Now coming to the management of the disease. Sanitation of the orchard. Vines should be kept high above the ground to allow circulation of air by proper spacing. Pruning, that is April, May and September and October, and burning of infected twigs. Grow resistant varieties like Amber Queen, Cardinal and Red Sultana. The disease can be effectively managed by giving 3 to 5 prophylactic sprays with 2% body mixture or phosphatile aluminum adderate 0.2% or combination of metalaxyl and mancozeb adderate 0.3 to 0.4%. Next important disease is the anthracnose or bird's eye disease. It is caused by Alcinoe ampelina. Now coming to the symptoms of the disease. The disease infects different part of the vine starting from the young shoots to fully mature fruit. Young shoots and fruits are more susceptible than leaves. Circular grayish-black spots or red spots with yellow halo appear. Later the center of the spot becomes grey, sunken and fall off, resulting in a symptom called short hole. Black sunken lesions appear on young shoots. Symptoms like sunken spots with AC grey center and dark margin on fruits. That is called bird's eye symptom. Mummification and shedding of berries is also observed under this disease. Now coming to the favorable condition. Warm, wet weather, low-lying and badly drained soils. Anab a Shahi grapes variety is susceptible. Now management of the disease. Removal of infected twigs. Selection of cuttings from disease-free areas and dipping them in 3% ferrous sulfate solution for half an hour before planting. Spraying body mixture 1% or copper oxychloride adderate 0.2% or carbendazim adderate 0.1%. Grow resistant varieties like Bangalore Blue, Golden Muscat, Golden Queen and Isabella. Next important disease is the grey mold. It is caused by Botrytis cinerea. Symptoms of the disease on leaves are, although the most obvious symptoms are on the berries, Botrytis cinerea can infect the green leaves and cause necrotic brown spots. On inflorescence, inflorescence can also be infected, causing the inflorescence to dry out. On berries, infected berries become covered with a greyish felt-like substances consisting of spore of the fungus. At that stage, pathogen is capable of directly infecting the berries, which becomes more susceptible as they mature. Now coming to the favorable condition of the disease. Optimum temperature for disease's development is 15 to 25 degrees centigrade. Next is the management. Disease can be managed by using resistant cultivars, spraying with difenoconazole or iprodione. Next important disease is the Alternaria leaf spot. It is caused by Alternaria vitis. Now let's see the symptoms of the disease. Appearance of patches mostly along the margin of leaves. In the initial stage, minute yellow spots appear on the upper surface of the leaves. In severe cases of attack, leaves dry completely and defoliation occurs. Next is the management. Destruction of crop debris, selection of disease-free seed, then foliar spray of mancozeb at the rate of 0.25%. Next important disease is the rust. It is caused by Phacospora vitis. Now let's see the symptoms of the disease. The presence of clustered, small, yellow to orange powdery spores on the underside of mature grapevine leaves. Small dark spots also appear on the upper surface. Management of the disease can be done by spraying GNAP at the rate 0.2% or dust sulfur at the rate 25 kg per hectare. Next important disease is the dead arm disease of grapes. It is caused by Phomopsis viticola. Now let's see the symptoms of the disease. The disease results in sudden wilt of vine, which is accelerated by the sun scald of the arms or trunk. The disease shows the typical scabby and cracked lesion at the base of shoots. The leaves show complete perforation. Now coming to the management of the disease. Pruning close to the main trunk allows growth to protect the arms and trunk from the sun scald by providing sufficient shade. Smearing of body paste on the cut ends is useful. Next is the viral diseases of grapes. There are several virus diseases used to affect grapes. Let's see the symptoms of these viruses. Fan leaf virus, yellow mosaic virus, and leaf roll virus are prevalent in India. These diseases are soil-borne and are transmitted through nematodes. However, these have not taken an alarming proportion in our country yet. Leaf roll, also called red leaf or white emperor disease, reddens the lower foliage of dark fruit cultivars in September and October. Foliage of white fruit cultivars may yellow at this time. Red blotches in red wine grape cultivars. These symptoms initially appear as small, irregular red-colored areas between major veins on mature leaves at the basal portion of the canopy of affected vines, and symptoms develop on leaves further up the canes as the season progresses. Grapevine yellow vein virus is another strain. It produces distinct yellowish or whitish bands along leaf veins most of the season. Next is the management of the disease. Plant healthy stock. Fan leaf is transmitted in soil by certain nematodes of the genus Gephinema persist in soil. Therefore, do not replant grapes in infested ground for 10 years. Control of mealybugs and scales is important in vineyards with confirmed leaf roll. Remove and destroy virus-infected vines. Next disease is the crown gall disease of grapes. It is caused by Agrobacterium tumefaciens. Now let's see the symptoms of the disease. The disease induces tumors at wounds on trunks and canes of the vine. Galls tends to be more common on the lower trunk. However, they may develop in canes, at graft unions, and at nodes where buds have been removed from rootstocks. Galls are normally first observed in early summer. Newly formed galls are creamy tan or white to light green colored soft masses of disorganized plant cells. Infections are initiated in the cambium of injured trunks or canes, where infected cells rapidly multiply and enlarge, forming galls that differ greatly in size. Galls become desiccate in the autumn, becoming dark and necrotic. As the galls are initiated in the cambium, the subsequent vascular tissue's development is affected, compromising nutrient flow and vine health. It may also have adverse effects on the healing of the graft union. In vineyards with field grafted vines, tumors can develop at the unions, prevent graft take, and lead to the collapse of the new scion. In addition to gall formation, tumorigenic and non-tumorigenic strains of A. vitis cause necrosis of young grape roots. Now, management of the disease. Growing resistant varieties like V5462, V5228. The disease can be controlled by applying 1 part of sodium dinitrocresal in 4 parts of methanol to the nodes. The bacterium spreads through pruning wood and cicature, etc. Site selection is an important factor in disease management. Other cultural control strategies include mounding soil around vines in the fall to protect against freeze injury and training vines with multiple trunks. Now coming to the conclusion of this topic. Grape is one of the most important fruit crops in the world, and it contains many of the most valuable elements necessary for life. There are a number of factors that must be considered in selecting grape varieties. Planting varieties that are less susceptible to disease is a good way to prevent outbreaks. Orienting rows north to south and using topographical gradients will maximize air and soil drainage. Pruning debris may act as a reservoir for inoculum and should be removed and burned. Destroying and burying infected debris will reduce pathogen population at the start of the season, therefore reducing the risks of disease. Canopy management facilitates air circulation, which promotes drying of the leaves and increased penetration of fungicide. It is also recommended that vineyards be systematically inspected throughout the growing season to monitor the appearance and development of diseases.